So the first day of 12 days of anime is finally here, even though it's actually the Thursday very early morning before for me, but I'm recording these ahead of time to keep them from getting ahead of me. But for day one, I'm going to talk about the ending of the horror manga Uzumaki. So if you haven't read it and want to, I suggest not watching this video because kind of experiencing the series as a whole, it's not long, it's 20 chapters, and the last one is a bonus chapter that takes place earlier in the series, so really, and I don't know where it fits in, is the other thing. So really it's a 19 chapter, 3-volume series, released by Viz a long time ago in the United States. I don't know about manga distributors elsewhere outside of Japan. It first caught my attention actually when I was, it was my sophomore year of high school. I saw it on a shelf and then, for whatever reason, never bought it. But I read it this year because of the Manga podcast. But yeah, rambly intro done. If you want to read it and haven't, you can watch this, but just know I'm talking about the ending and probably going to refer back to a few points before just to kind of, talk about the big picture. But the reason it's a favorite moment is probably one of my favorite endings in anime and manga, really, for a series that was started off so episodic and had such a bleak and dark tone. I was expecting, I called the everybody dies ending, and I said early on that I'd be surprised if they actually explained what was actually happening in the town, and I think that's a good thing that they didn't go into it, because some things you don't need answers for. Some people would disagree probably, but I think the way they did it was better than them finding in some book in a library the secret hidden history of the town that no one knew, because if someone knows what happened, then you'd think they would have prevented it. But the fact that it was, despite it being like an everyone dies ending, it was kind of a happy ending. The main couple, as it were, they didn't really feel like a couple throughout the series. Like, they occasionally, like other people referred to, I should have written down their names before I started talking. The main guy whose dad and mom died, dad killed himself in the first chapter in the wash basin, spun his body into a circle, or a spiral, or they said he did. I don't, how do you get the lid on if it was him? But anyway, that guy who knew that something was wrong with the town. And the main, I don't even want to really call her a protagonist. She was kind of the eyepiece. You could probably have an entire separate discussion about that, but that's not what this is about. But where was I going? Yeah. Just the fact that it went from a completely, well, not completely, seemingly episodic format, and then suddenly it starts kind of turning into an ongoing story once shit gets really real, and like they can't move too fast because it'll create whirlwinds and no one can leave the town. which answered the question of why aren't people leaving this town. So that was nice and clever and a little meta, but that's probably why I liked it. Where are they going? Yeah, and then they went on the escape attempt, and there was that little thought of, wait, will they actually get out? And then not only did they not get out, they'd been wandering on that trail for probably 50 years, considering how old that one guy looked, whose name I can't remember. And then finding the the underground Cthulhu city, well, spiral Cthulhu city. And I can't remember if there was like an actual, it kind of looked like an Eye of Sauron, but had a spiral, or if I dreamed that after I finished, because that's probably one of the first series that actually inspired some weird dreams. I won't say nightmares, because I haven't really had a nightmare in over 10 years, but that's, I don't know what that says about me. But yeah, it was a really good series, and the way it ended I thought was great. And so yeah, 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10, would read again, but probably not for another year, because it's pretty dense for 20 chapters. But I guess that's it for day 1 of 12 Days of Anime. The rest of these videos there are not in any particular order, just, whichever I feel like talking about, whatever order they get made in. But, yeah. Until tomorrow.